is my third setup. But like people say like, oh, that's too tough. I'm tough on my boys. I don't let them quit. And the one rule is, it's just like it applies to this business too. Like, that's why I'm so grateful for network marketing because I never knew this type of stuff, right? But through the personal development, it's like you always end on a good note, right? Like we never end on a strikeout. We never. So he got hit. I was like, hey, this is the last week. We got to wrap up practice, but get back up. He got back up, and he missed, and then he got a hit, and you run. So that's because it's all in the 95% of success is up here. So that's what he remembers. I got a good hit. Daddy was proud of me. You can strike out. You can. Doesn't matter about winning, but do you work your hardest and did you do your best? If you do your best and work the hardest, you get a treat. If you win but you didn't have an attitude, you get punished. That's some of the things I learned from. But if you lose but have a great attitude, we get a treat. We get ice cream.
Awesome.
Well, Simon, we've hit the top of the hour, so let us officially welcome you to the call. We want to welcome everybody that's joined us tonight to another ASEA Global Expansion Team Zoom. We have an incredible guest speaker for you tonight. Simon Chan is the head of MLM Nation, and he has been in the network marketing industry for a while now, promoting people that are professionals in this industry to be the best that they can be. He was just talking about his kids playing baseball. What he's going to teach us tonight, and he's got a hard stop in about 25 minutes. But what he's going to teach us tonight is how to develop the first three leadership levels in your business. So there's so many moving parts when it comes to building an ASEA business, and Simon's going to really focus on that focus tonight. So Simon, over to you.
Hey, thank you. It's an honor to be here. And, I get very excited. I'm a shy, quiet Asian kid from Brooklyn, New York. Hopefully, we speak fast. And especially dealing with our amazing profession, I tend to speak even quicker. But I'll do my best to slow down here. But I just want to share about my purpose. My purpose-driven life to have a positive impact on many lives as possible. And I believe everyone can earn a part-time income in network marketing. Right, and my mission is to help 1,000 network marketers like yourself get to at least $1,000 a month. And you have an awesome product. I've used your product. I've had coaching clients that are top leaders in your company in Australia. So you guys have an amazing product, right? And everyone, you are good enough to get to at least $1,000 a month. Now, if you want to get to where Dan is, where the top leaders are, hey, you need to do a lot of personal development. But just the product and the model, to get a part-time income is very, very doable. But the couple of things I want to share with you and some mistakes to avoid. So people ask me, what is the number one skill? Right? Sometimes people say, you got to learn how to use the product. You got to be a good presenter. You got to be a speaker or communicator. I tell you the number one skill, and this is like the meta skill. And Dan talked about this. By the way, big shout out to Dan. If you want to check out the podcast, Dan was recently featured on MLM Nation. I've interviewed over 600 top leaders, including many of the top ASEA leaders out there. And they all say the number one skill you need, and this is not something you're born with. This is something you can develop. It is consistency. Consistency. Because if you're not consistent, you're never going to be successful, right? Without consistency, nothing will ever work. And actually, Dan on the show talked about his routine and every day working it. So it doesn't matter what background you are, you're not good at anything. It's okay if you're new. I was terrible in the beginning. There's a saying, every master was a disaster. But as long as you stay with it, you eventually get to the top. I'm going to skip a few things. I was a total disaster in the beginning, but just to share a little bit personally about me, my turning point, I struggled for months, never made any money. I had a whole bunch of commission checks I was going to share with you, but all zero, 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 zeros. I didn't make any money for months. But my turning point was someone helped me become consistent. I've been in the profession for almost 20 years. Hopefully I don't look too old, but I've been building online since way back. Actually, I'm going to share some of the commission checks with you, all right? I mean, I know FTC, we're not supposed to share, but I'm going to share a commission check you've never seen before. Here it is, a big fat goose egg, a zero, all right? And then a couple weeks later, another zero. And a couple weeks later, another donut, then a bagel. And by the way, if you're just watching this, that's not typical. That's if you do what I'm telling you not to do. I've made every mistake there is. Okay, because I wasn't consistent. I was treating it like a hobby. A couple of weeks later, I was still owning a pancake. A couple of weeks later, I can't think of any food objects, but there was zero. The day it changed was someone helped me become consistent, and I started treating this seriously. Okay, like I said, nowadays is such an amazing opportunity because you can build anywhere in the internet. With social media, it's totally changed everything. Back then, I didn't have anything. I've been building online for the last 20 years, since 2004. Some of you remember these big monitors. I used to use AIM, AOL Instant Messaging, MSN Messenger, Yahoo Messenger, ICQ forums, Yahoo Overture, finding prospects, and eventually built a team of over 200,000 people. I was the #1 fastest growing distributor in my company. And then, in network marketing, we talk about, developing leaders. You have to duplicate, right? So my wife and I, it was just the two of us, we started getting really serious about duplication. So when two of us, and we just duplicated and made a little family. So we have, like I said, if you look at my oldest son, he looks exactly like me. We have very good duplication. And my youngest looks exactly like my wife. The white fluffy one, he's like the odd boy downline. We haven't figured him out yet. Okay, but he's Obi. And some of you, I remember this picture when we first started. This was, my wife was making breakfast. I'm getting the two kids getting ready for school. I'm holding the youngest. And I'm like, this is crazy. I took the selfie. I think I have some toothpaste on my neck, on my ears too. But if you're busy, I know how it is. But the good news is in our profession, in the SEER, you don't need much time. But you do need to be consistent, and the time you have, you need to be focused on the income producing activities. My boys are a little bit older now. They're 9, 7, and 5. Our house is a zoo. I'm warning you right now. It's at 6 p.m. where I am. They may come in at any minute, two of them, or my dog may be coming in barking. So if they do, please forgive me. I told them not to come in, but you never know. And then in 2013, I had a different purpose. I realized we have an amazing profession. I want to make a bigger impact. I became a full-time trainer since 2013. All right, so anyway, that's a little really quick background. You want to follow me on Instagram, Facebook. But today we'll talk about some of the mistakes you want to avoid and how to develop leaders. So one of the biggest mistakes that people make, right, before we talk about is they get into management mode too quickly. All right, so it's like I sponsored two people. I get two people. I want to help them get two, and they get two. And this whole thing about duplication, right? Like next thing you know, the whole world in your downline. You sponsor two, the whole world. The reality is that doesn't happen. Okay, most people, they come in and they love the product. And by the way, I'm a customer of your product. I had a sore elbow from baseball. I actually used the product last night. Okay, the gel's been awesome. But most people just become customers. They may not build a business. So one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they get into management mode. They get off a good start. They bring in 1 or 2 people and they wanted to, okay, I'm going to start prospecting. I'm going to start training and recruit them, motivate them to get going. That is the kiss of death, right? And that's why a lot of people fail. They have some momentum. See, this business is like an airplane taking off. You need a lot of momentum, critical mass, like fuel before it takes off. You can't stop before then. The reality is, what you need to do, if you are earning less than 6 figures, 90% of your time needs to be spent on your own personal production, income producing activities. Don't say, I gotta train. I have a big mistake. I'll give you some examples of this. You sponsor someone, all your time is spending training that person, motivating them, sending audios, listening. No. It's like you have to sow seeds. You get the farmer, you want a good harvest, you gotta stay in the field. You gotta be working on the income producing activities. Dad has a system for that, but if you don't know what it is, it's basically every day you gotta be meeting new contacts, whether it's out in the street, right in the restaurants, or on social media. Every day you gotta be inviting, exposing, asking someone whether they want to take a look. Every day you gotta be following up with people. Every day you gotta be posting on social media. And then every day, 3 or 5, someone needs to look at the SEER products and business. You gotta be sending a video out. Okay, that is like your job. Like you have an amazing business, but at the same time, you gotta be a job. It is your job. Right? Your job is not to train your downlines, motivate them, or sometimes people think, I got to create a new group, a new training call. No, leverage on what a SEER has, leverage what Dan has. Let your uplines do that work. You need to focus on your personal production. Because the reality is, if you don't, I'm just taking from an extreme example here. If you don't train your team, but focus on building your new product, new customers, new distributors, you can still make money. Make good money. But if you spend all your time training and not on your income producing activities, not your own personal production, your business will die off. I guarantee that. Because you need, and when I say 6 figures, it's because you need a certain mass of people, of customers to create that momentum and create that time. Most people, they bring 3, 5 people that get excited, they get distracted, right? So that's the what 90% of your time needs to be spent on new sales. That's how your business grows. Now, how do you know who to work with, right? So I'm not saying you totally ignore them. 10% of your time. Now, 10% of your time could be, hey, when you have some downtime, you drop off some kids, you have some downtime, check in with them. You message them in the morning. When you're walking your dog, send a message. And you want to find out who to work with. I want you to write this down. You want to work with people that deserve your time, not need your time. That's a big difference. When I first started, I wanted to work with everyone, right? They don't deserve your time. Why? Because your time needs to be spent on your personal recruiting, your personal sales. That's what keeps your business going. You want to be like where Dan is? You need to be recruiting. Dan did an excellent episode, like I said on the podcast. He still is prospecting every day. He's recruiting. He's not in management mode. And even maybe he's not doing as much as before, but when he was building, he was working his butt off. You need to get there, right? So you work with people that deserve your time. You may have some people that need your time, but don't deserve your time. And what do you mean by needing your time? They complain, they whine, right? There's always 4 types of people. All right. I'm sorry if I offend any of them. If I offend you, hey, this is to motivate you. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm very no BS. I'm very straight and direct. Okay, so about 27% of the people are just whiners or whingers. Whingers, right? In Australia, whingers. They complain. Why is the product late? Why do I have to pay for shipping? Why is the training so early? Why is it training during dinner time? They just complain. They don't deserve your time. 65%, they're followers. They do a little bit. Maybe get 1 or 2 customers, recruit 1 person. They don't do much. They basically become really loyal customers. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. Third group of people are the people who are supporters. They're your right-hand man, right-hand woman. You need help? They'll come in and help you out. They'll do a training. They are also producers. They produce. And only 3% are the leaders. The next Dan Doyle is out there. 3%. Right? The leaders are out there. But so your time needs to be spent on what? Now, most of the mistake that people make is those 65% that don't do much. You're trying to get them to be leaders. Don't waste your time doing that. They are customers. And by the way, never ever make someone feel guilty that they're not doing that much. Because if you want retention to grow your team, it's not just about, not everyone's going to be a leader. People have different phases in life, right? Maybe they just love to see a product and just happy making $200 a month, getting the products for free, doing a little bit. Don't ever push them like, oh, you got to go for more, because you don't understand their life. They may have other things going on in their life. People stay in the business for basically only 4 reasons. Number 1, they make money. Number 2, they love the product. Number 3, the social, right? The friendships, the camaraderie. And number 4 is the fulfillment. Some of you watching this, you probably love the product. You love the team. You probably have some fulfillment. For me, I love the fulfillment. For me, that's what kept me in there. I saw myself grow, something shy, quiet, couldn't speak, and now I'm empowering others. That's what got me addicted and hooked to this profession. But don't have someone out there who just likes the product. They're happy. They're buying every month. If they're not showing that up like they're going to go out and recruit, don't ever make them feel bad. Right? Because if they feel bad, again, the fulfillment is gone. They'll end up buying from someone else. They'll leave to see a family. Right? So you know who to push and who not to push. The ones who like the products, send them to group training. Those are the ones that attend events. Make them feel good. But don't everyone feel bad. I think the thing with this profession is, if you're not a distributor all around, you're no good. Hey, love on those people. Right? And sometimes the timing may not be right. I've seen it in ASEA. They've been in ASEA for 4 years. Haven't done much. Then all of a sudden, their life's changed. The kids went to college now. They have time. they go out and start building really seriously. So keep them in a SEA family, right? So you don't work directly with these people. You can encourage them, send them to the team trainings. Again, you are working with the people that deserve your time. So how do you know you deserve your time? You give them a little task, right? Who do you work with? You give them a little task. So when someone's new, hey, make your contact list. And if someone says, someone say, oh, make your contact, today's Monday night, make your contact list by Wednesday and reach out to me. You reach out to them on Wednesday, say, did you make your list? Oh, I couldn't because my garage door broke. I had to go fix it. I had to help with the kids with homework. I had to, my dog got sick. I had to fix my car and I didn't get a chance. Now you know this person, hey, may not deserve all your time. That's strike one. Now it doesn't mean they quit and they're good. You give them an easier task to do. If you can't live up to the standard, you give them a little easier task. So maybe, hey, get me the contact list by tomorrow, or just so you always give a little assignments and tasks and see whether they do them or not. If you don't do them, you bring it lower down to a level, but never make them feel like they're a loser, they're no good. Because if they feel they're a loser, they can't do this, they're gonna leave, right? Make them, and you never know. Like I said, they may be a product user. Some of you are like that. You're a product user for a long time. Dan was like using the product first, and then all of a sudden one day wakes up, hey, I want to do this. Nothing wrong with it. If they don't do it, just realize you're not working one-on-one, spending too much time, because your time needs to be out in the field, sowing seeds, making new sales. Now, if you say, hey, make a contact list on Wednesday, and then they call you tomorrow, Tuesday morning, hey, I've done it already. Oh, then you have someone that could be good. You give them a little harder task. You push them a little bit. So that's how you find out who deserves your time. And I'll tell you, the ones who need your time, we talk about the 27% whiners, whingers. Generally, those people, they don't even stay. Right? I'm going to Dan, because you should attest to this. The ones that complain, whinge, complain, they normally don't stay in the profession. Right? So all the time you're spending with them is wasted time. Right? You love on them, let them go, do one other thing. You focus on working with one that deserve your time. So for those that deserve your time, how do you develop them, right? It's not how long you speak to them. It's how often you communicate with them. People, I see this mistake. They talk to them for a long time, for 1 hour. And then the next day, they like, okay, I just talked to them for 1 hour yesterday. You don't feel like calling them. They don't feel like talking to you. It's, right? Because you talked about everything. It's the frequency of mentoring that's important. Yeah, accountability. Because if you talk to them for an hour and you don't talk to them today, today's the day maybe they invited 2 people, they thought it'd be interested and they didn't join. And then they go, they go down. That's when you need to be there with them. So I'm going to give you something really simple. Right? I call it 6 minutes for 6 figures. Quick 5-minute phone call. And you ask these people 3 questions. Now, this is not a call to chit chat and all that. Right? If you want to find out what they're doing, you can go on social media, chit chat. That's for another time. This is personal mentoring. You want to develop the leaders? 3 questions. Number 1, who did you talk to today? Who did you talk to today? Like if I asked Dan this question, I'm sure he would tell me, who did you talk to today? Second question is, do we have any potential customers or distributors by Friday? By the end of the week, do we have any person signing up or trying the product? Right? They may say, oh, I have John, I have Sally, I have Elizabeth. We got to send out samples. That's number 2. And the third question is, how can I help? Do you need to do a 3-way call? Do you need to do a presentation? Did they bring up an objection? How can I help? You ask them 3 questions. Simple. It should be a 5-minute, 6-minute phone call. But you do that every single day. For those people that deserve your time, you do that every single day. Every single day. Now, what happens after 4 days? They can't keep up. Well, they're not that leader. You can, hey, they're part that, remember, you decrease the assignment. You make it a little easy for them. But never feel that they're a loser, they can't make it. Right? So you have to, developing leaders, you have to push them. Every week, you got to set goals. And every week, you got to hit those targets. And they're not like, oh, whatever we make it is great. No, they're like life and death targets. You got to hit those targets. And if they don't hit those targets, again, you make the assignment a little bit easier for them. 3 questions every day. Who did you talk to? Do you have any potential customers or signups? And how can I help you? Right now, you may say, well, Simon, I don't have anyone on my team that can do that. Then go out there. That's why you got to be doing your personal production. Those people, you don't have anyone on your team. They're customers. right? You can love on them. You can talk to them once a week. But the ones that deserve your time, really the leaders, you got to be chatting with them every single day, because it's the one time where they get a rejection and you're not there. That's when they're gone. Okay? But they may not quit, but mentally they don't believe that they can do it. And really, this next thing is, maybe you're new, right? I don't have a leader. Everyone has a leader when they start with. You talk about developing the first 3 leaders. You have a leader. Every one of you have a leader. It doesn't matter if you signed up yesterday or signed up years ago. The first leader is yourself. You're the leader. And you got to visualize yourself being that leader. Have the vision of yourself being that leader. And work on yourself. As you work on yourself and increase your leadership, it's magic. Not only will you be able to train your team better, but you'll be able to raise the lid. You attract better and better people. Hey, my friends Chuck and Tammy Case are here. How's it going? Hey, they've been on the podcast. Big time, right? They have the routines. They work on personal production. So work on yourself. The first leader is always you. You say, oh, well, I'm not attracting any good people. It's not a CEO's problem. It's your problem. Work on yourself. And I'll share one thing a little bit more advanced. The leaders, 5 years from now, the leaders in your business are very different from the leaders today. Because either 2 things are going to happen. You're going to grow really quickly, and your team doesn't grow as quickly. You're going to attract better and better people. Or your team grows quicker than you, and they don't deal with you anymore. Right? So you got to, the leaders change, and who ends the race is really the ones who start the race with you. So some of you like, oh, you have a little team. Again, the biggest mistake people make is get into management mode. Oh, I want to get this team to get going. No, go out there, work on yourself, and you attract better people. You're the head of a train. See, this whole business, you're the head of a train, right? The train goes fast, you go fast, right? You're the head of the train. You go fast, the rest of the team goes fast. You slow down, the team slows down. You stop, train stops. You go backwards, your business goes backwards. You derail, your business is gone. That's the reality. You set the example. I just worked with a coaching client, right? She said, all of a sudden her team's excited. You know, if you want your team to get into action, it's not about calling, motivating them. That doesn't work, because people don't listen to what you say. They listen to what you do. You want to get your team going? Start recruiting a couple new reps. Bring in a couple new customers. That'll fire up your team. Because there's 3 beliefs, right? There's 3 beliefs in network marketing. Number 1, your belief in yourself. Are you working your belief on yourself? Personal development is important. You're on this, you're working your belief on yourself. But more importantly, right, when you take action, when you bring in new customers, when you're growing, your self-esteem increases. That's why I said consistency is the number 1 skill. When you're taking action, you feel good. And when you feel good, you do good. When you procrastinate, you don't feel good about yourself. It's short term, you may feel good. You know, I want to watch TV tonight instead of building your business. Short term, you feel good. Afterwards, you feel bad. And it cycles. Lack of action decreases your self-esteem, decreases your self-belief. The easiest thing is take action. Second thing about belief is the belief in your company. Right? You're all on here, you believe in SIA. Third thing is belief in the products. You believe in the products, you're watching this. But if you want your team to believe that this is real, this is awesome, they need to see you do well. Or the pep talking, that doesn't work. Yeah, you know, your team, they're not dumb. Right? They go on a training call. They see the same people on there. They're like, oh, you're not doing anything. Last week was 10 people. This week's 9 people. Next week is 8 people. Then it's 10 people. It's the same 10 people. This can't be a great business. This is the same 10 people for the last 6 months. You say, oh, this is awesome. This is great. Like, no, it's not. If it was great, it wouldn't be the same 10 people. That's why it's management most the kiss of death. Then they're like, oh, this doesn't really work. I made that mistake. Simon can't do it, then I can't even do it either. Or the motivation, I'm excited, but when I start thinking, it's the same 10 people. When you set the example, you set the example, your team belief increases. I'll share one thing with you, right? That's why you need to go for a rank advancement. You need to go for next income, because it's like, well, Simon, I don't need the money. It's not about you. It's about your team. When your team sees you do well, when the team sees you make money, they hear the excitement. You can't trick them. They know how well you're doing. They see new people on a training call. They know you're earning more. And then you may not even tell them about your income, but it's magic. When you get an extra, your CA check gets a little bigger, you get a little bit more excited. They feel that energy. That increases their belief. And numerous people, coaching clients I work with, I focus hardcore. It's all about hardcore recruiting. How do I duplicate my team? I get them to hardcore recruiting. Once they recruit, they go, oh my goodness, Simon, I can't believe it. But my team's starting doing stuff. They haven't, well, because they see you growing. You're the train. You go fast, your team will go fast. Hey, that's my message for you. Focus on the income producing activities. Don't get into the management mode. If you do find someone, right, how do you know who to work with? Give them some more tasks. Right? And don't forget, every day, 3 questions. And by these 3 questions, don't just ask your team. More importantly, ask yourself. Who am I talking to? Am I getting any customers or reps by Friday? And by the way, today's Monday night already. You only have 4 days left. Get going. Who do I need? Who can I help? Right? Ask yourself. And if your team, everyone was doing what you were doing, what would happen to your business? Ask yourself and remind yourself that. Last thing is, hey, I have to hop off. I can go on and on about this, but I want to know what you plan to take action on. Okay, you can follow me on Instagram, tag me on the story, Simon W. Channel, or Facebook. Reach out to me. I want to know what you plan to take action on. Don't think, oh, this is a great motivational call. Hey, you wasted my time. You wasted Dan's time. I want to know what you plan to take action on. You may not take action on everything, but just one thing. And that's compound, the compound effect. Do a little bit today. Tomorrow, take action on something else. It's not how much you learn that makes you money. It's how much you take action on what you learn that determines your success. Hey, you have an awesome company. Amazing leaders. Dan, thank you for having me on here. It's an honor, privilege. Connect me on social media. Sorry I have to cut it short, but I appreciate you all. I love this profession, and I'm loud and proud to be part of this amazing profession. You guys are amazing, what it can do for you. And last thing is, don't forget, we're in the profession to help others. So go out there, apply what you learn, go out and have a positive impact on someone's life. God bless you all.
Simon, thank you. And I know you've got to rush to another call, but give yourself a quick plug. Where can everybody contact you? If you let them know your platforms. And just reiterate that. We had that in the marketing, but let's hear it from you. Where can they contact you?
Hey, you can go to mlmnation.com or on social media. Just find me on Instagram, Simon W. Chan, or on Facebook, Simon Chan. You should be able to find me.
Awesome.
Thank you, Dan.
Simon, thank you so much.
Take care. Bye.
Good night, everybody.